Morning everybody, it's Iain from Rank in the Obscure, RTO, we come under any name. So this is a brand new series. Let's turn the mic down. It's live. We're going to do on Friday, more Fridays. We're going to do live albums from some of them more mainstream bands and give a little bit of love to their live stuff. So today we're going to start off with the brilliant Genesis. I think they've released 6 albums and we've got an honorary mention today. Now before we start, as you can see, we've decorated the back of my computer room. Now some of the album covers have fallen down already, so if anything falls down while we're on air, there's nothing I can do. Okay then, so we're going to start off today with an honourable mention. This is the Genesis Archive box set that came out in June of 1998. Basically it's 4 box set and it's got some live stuff and some rare early stuff from way back. I thought I'd give it a mention because the first 3 albums are all live. First 2 are The Lamb Lies Down Broadway, and then we get some classic Genesis. I'm not going to rank this, but I'm just going to say, I mean obviously they've got all the tracks on The Lamb. The music side of it is fantastic, but the vocal was re-recorded for this box set because with all Peter Gabriel's weird and wonderful costumes, the vocal was really bad. It's a bit of a cheat, I think, but it's take away that he re-recorded the lyrics, but the music, the band were fantastic, and the live versions on here of In the Cage is fantastic. Fly on Windshields, really good highlight. Carpet Crawlers is just superb. It's always been one of my favourites off the album. And the Lamia, they're the highlights in the album. So I mean it is a bit of a cheat. Now the second album is a classic album. I doesn't see when it was recorded. Doesn't say, but it's absolutely brilliant. Starts off with Dancing with the Moonlit Night, one of my favourite Genesis tracks, and this is a great live version. The only one that comes close to this is one that Steve Hackett did on his Genesis Revisited album live. Absolutely cracking. The Cinema Show, another classic. Firth the Fifth, I Know What I Like in My Wardrobe. Now this actually is part of an album called Live at the Rainbow. So on that you get the Battle of Epping Forest live. I've never, until I got this, I'd never heard it live. And then we have Supper's Ready. It's a good version, but it's not my favourite live version, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, so that's got the honourable mention out of the way. It's worth having, purely for the 3rd CD with the classics on and the musical box and More Fool Me and that Battle of Epping Forest. Okay then, let's start the official live albums. There are 6. Coming in at number 6 is The Way We Walk, Volume 1, The Shorts. This is the 4th live album they released in November of 1992. Okay, on this, basically it's got all the hit singles, but it's not recorded at the same concert. There's some in Germany, some in Nebworth, and that's David Lee Roth gone. Let's see how many go down in the whole show. But I mean, I love Land of Confusion. That's a really good version on here. No Son of Mine. That's too bad. Jesus He Knows Me. Thrown It All Away. Great track that is. I remember when we saw them at Wembley. Everyone joins in with that. I Can't Dance. I'm not a great fan of that track. And Mama. The best thing about this is recorded from the show that I was in 1987. Absolutely stonking. Opened up the gig with that. Then we got probably the worst track Genesis ever recorded. Hold On to My Heart. I just don't like that. It's got That's All, and then it's got In Too Deep, another track that I don't like very much. And I'm so glad that they actually didn't put that on the British tour, because I just don't like it. And then you get Tonight Tonight and Invisible Touch. It's nicely put together, so it does sound like it's from the same concert. The continuity in between the tracks is pretty good. But it's got all the stuff that everybody likes. So it gets an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10, because it's okay. This is one of the little albums I don't actually play very often. Okay, then coming in at number 5 is The Way We Walk Volume 2, The Longs, released in 1993. Again, it's all the stuff from the shows that we mentioned in the first one. I don't know why they didn't actually just release this from all of that 1999 tour, the We Can't Dance tour. It'd have made a better thing, nice continuity, and you'd have got the whole gig. Okay, this one starts off with the old medley. This is a really good track. It's really long, of course, because it's on the longs. And in this medley, you get the start of Dance on a Volcano, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and the closing section of the musical box. Really, really good. Then you get the fourth or fifth, I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe, and there's little snippets from Stagnation and Your Own Special Way. It's a great medley, and I really enjoy that. Next track on the album is Driving the Last Spike. I love this track anyway. It's a terrific track, and the live version is the better version of the two songs. Again, like Domino, the live version of Domino. Who's come down now? Oh, that's Bon Jovi and half of Dio. I'm going to have to find a permanent sticky thing without ruining me covers. Anyway, let's get back to Genesis. Domino, great song. The second part, the last Domino, is probably the best version of this song, any recording. Then we get Fading Lights. I do like it, so poor old Dio's gone. Fading Lights is another terrific song. It's one of the best songs actually off the We Can't Dance. Then we get Home by the Sea, the best track off the Mama album, or the self-titled album, whatever you want to call it. And then they just put the drum duet on at the end. Now, I've got no problem with Chester Thompson and the Phil Collins drum solo, but I just don't like the way they just bunged it on the end. It's a bit disjointed. Still a good listen. I do listen to this one more than I do the shorts, because it has got some great live versions of some great tracks. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10 because it's just too disjointed. It's not a whole gig. Okay then, coming in at number 4 is the 6 live album, recorded in Europe in 2007, and it's all from the Turn It On Again tour, the reunion tour. Although I think it's not all at the same show, it's all from the same tour. Love how this opens. Duke's intro, Behind the Lines and Duke's End. It's a nice little starter. You got 3 minutes 48 and they get everything you want from that album into that one song, and it goes into Turn It On Again, one of my favourite songs. It's not my favourite version of this song live, but it's a good song. Then we get No Son of Mine, you know, the usual suspects here, Land of Confusion. Then we get another good medley. You get In the Cage, The Cinema Show, and Duke's Travels. That is a terrific medley. Really nice, good songs on that. Then that goes straight into Afterglow, which is a terrific song. Then we get my least favourite song again, Hold On To My Heart. Why play that live? It's so boring. Fall asleep on that. Then we get Home by the Sea, Second Home by the Sea, another terrific track. Follow You, Follow Me, that's alright. Then the brilliant Firth the Fifth, this is the excerpt, it's the solo. What's his name? Daryl Sturmer does a fine job on guitar, but there's only one person that can play that, and that's Mr. Hackett. I Know What You Like in My Wardrobe, a little bit of that, 6 minutes 45. Then Mama, and then Ripples. This is a great version of this song. I love the song Ripples anyway, but it's really, really good. Then we get Throwing It All Away, the usual crowd one. Domino, not a bad version on this. Conversation with Two Stools. Yeah, it's them doing the bit of drumming on two stools, and there's a documentary about this thing, and they were going around all these shops trying to find two stools that sound the same. So that goes into Los Endos, great track. Then you get a little bit of Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. Then the Invisible Touch is, yeah, I Can't Dance. Why? Oh, I hate that track. And then it ends up with the brilliant Carpet Crawlers, and it's not a bad version of that. It's not a bad album. It's a bit more consistent and it flows a lot better. So this gets an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay then, coming in at number 3. This is the 3rd live album that Genesis put out. Came out on the 4th of June 1982. 3 Sides Live. Again, this song is not one whole concert. It's recorded from, I think, the Duke tour, and some on the 4th side is from the Flip Trick of a Tail album tour. So, but there's some great stuff. Them songs actually feature Bill Bruford. But we'll get down to them when we'll get there. Right. This album opens up with Turn It On Again, and this is the best version of this song. A lot of Genesis songs, I think the live versions are terrific, and this one is. It's not got that thing at the end where they put that medley in. It's okay, it's a good way to end the show, I suppose, but I just like to hear the song from start to finish, and that is the best version. Then we get Dodo and Lurker from Abacab. I love these two tracks. They are one of the highlights of that album. I do like Dodo and Lurker. Really good. Still very proggy for 1980s. Then it's the brilliant Abacab. Another great track. Terrific version of this. It's a little bit longer. The drums are great in this. You got Chester Thompson and Phil Collins just hammering it out. Terrific version of that song. It is the best live version that I've got, and it's the best version of the song, basically. Then we get Behind the Lines. Terrific version. It's not the best version I've got of this. I've got it on an official live album from the Duke tour, and that's the best version of that I've got. Then you get Duchess, not too bad. Me and Sarah Jane, it's not a bad version. Follow You, Follow Me, it's actually the best version of this song. That was recorded from 1980. I think it's actually from the same concert I've got an official live album. Then we get Misunderstanding. This is another track that I'm not particularly fond of. I don't know why. I know a lot of people like it, but I just don't like it. Then we get the medley. This is a fantastic medley. You get the whole of In the Cage. Then you get the Cinema Show, the solo bit. That is the best version of that I've got. And then it goes into the Slipper Men. It's just a terrific medley, and then that goes nicely straight into Afterglow. So that bit is all from one show. It's fantastic. I love Afterglow. Okay, then the next one is another terrific song, One for the Vine. I love this song. It doesn't matter if it's live, studio version. It's a terrific song of Wind and Wuthering. Then you get Fountain of Samosis. This has got Bill Bruford on it. It's terrific. I love the song anyway from Nursery Crime. And then it ends up with It and the beginning of Watcher of the Skies. Another terrific track. This is a really enjoyable live album, even though it's not on one gig. I do like this album a lot because it's got a good mixture of new Genesis and old Genesis. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10 because I do love the medley on this version. Okay then, coming in at number 2. This is the first Genesis live album, recorded about 72 time, released in July of 73. It's just called Genesis Live. This has got the classic lineup on. This is it's only a single album, but it's got essential tracks on. Opens up with Watcher of the Skies. I love this track. I love the mellotron at the beginning. It's a classic song. To me, it's one of them essential Genesis songs. Really good song. Then we get 'Em Out by Friday, again from Supper's Ready. Terrific version of that. It's better than the studio version. Then we got another favourite of mine, Return of the Giant Hodgeweed for Nursery Crime. I love the start of that. It's terrific. I've heard one or two people do covers of that, and they've not been too bad. I think one of the best ones is by Transatlantic, and I've got a version that Steve Hackett comes out and joins them, and it's terrific. Then we've got the musical box. This is outstanding, this version. I think it starts with and that was a bass solo by Mr. Mike Rutherford. Uh, I just love this. I love the story. I love the closing bit. It's just a classic song from Nursery Crime. And the album ends with one of my favourite songs by Genesis, The Knife from Trespass. This version is the best version, without a doubt. I like the version of Trespass, but something else has just fallen down. Who's gone this time? Oh, Gillan and Glover. At least the ones on the wall are still on. Go back to The Knife. Yeah, this is a terrific version. It's got a lot of atmosphere, and I love that start. It's one of the heaviest tracks they ever produced. I just like that dun 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 dun. Terrific. So what's coming in at number one? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Released on the 14th of October, second live album, Seconds Out, and this was the last album to feature Steve Hackett before his departure. A lot of this was recorded in June '77 on the Wind and Wuthering tour, but the cinema show was recorded the year before. And today, apart from the little picture on the screen, I've got the album. I was going through some stuff last night, and lo and behold, I found it in one of my boxes. This is a fantastic album, and before we go on to the tracks, that's what I like about it. The gatefold and the pictures from the band. Got Chester Thompson there. Terrific album. It's got some of my favourite tracks on this album. It opens up with Squonk. Love that song. Then we get the Carpet Crawlers. This is the best version of this song on anything, and I think Phil sings it really well. Then we get the from Trick of the Tail, Robbery, Assault and Battery. A lot of people say this is a bit corny, but I do love the keyboard solo in this from Tony Banks. It's outstanding. Then we get Afterglow. Again, brilliant song. I've just thought I didn't give Genesis Live a ranking. It gets an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10, but don't worry, I'll put it on this when I edit this. It'll be in there before you see it, so you'll see the score, but you won't hear it. What a wally. Never mind. Okay, let's go back to Seconds Out. Then we get Firth the Fifth. This is the definitive version of this song. It's one of my favourite songs. It's one of my favourite solos, and the only person that can play that solo is Steve Hackett. It is fantastic. Then we get I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe. Phil does a thing with his tambourine. It's quite funny. Then we get The Lamb Lies on Broadway, and that goes lovely into the closing section of the musical box. I love that, and again, I think this is that little bit at the end is the best version of this song. Then on this wonderful album, side 3 is taken up by one track, Supper's Ready. This is the best version of this song anywhere. Okay, that's going to upset a lot of the Gabriel camp, but this is the best version I've heard, and it's the one that I love. And if I listen to this song, I do like listening to this version. It is absolutely fantastic. I'd say it's my top 3 of long prog songs, which I am going to do a retro ranking, my top 10 long prog tracks, so that'll be in there. It's terrific. Then we get the cinema show. Again, great version. The solo in this is terrific, and the keyboards from Tony Banks is on fire. Then the brilliant Dance on a Volcano, terrific version of this, probably the best version of this again. A lot of these tracks by Genesis do sound 100% better live. And the album closes with Los Endos. This is one of my favourite live albums of all time as well. So for the third time this week, this gets a 10 out of 10 ranking from RTO, because it is just a fantastic album. It's fantastically produced. It flows so much better. It's the one that really flows. It's not disjointed. It is terrific. It's one of my favourite, as I said, it's one of my favourite live albums. In fact, it's one of my favourite albums of all time. So that's the first live one we've done. Next week, next Friday, we're going to look at Iron Maiden. So all we've got left to do today is a one-off wonder album, and that will be on Mason and Fen. So for now, I will say bye-bye and see you all soon. So take care for now. And I'm going to put back the pictures on the on the wardrobe. Bye for now.